for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is an actor, speaker, as well as a writer. No other than Mr. Andrew Mondia.
Yes, that's right. I'm Andrew Mondia.
Yes, welcome. One book, one review, Mr. Andrew. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yes, I will. First of all, I just wanted to thank you for having me here. I was born and raised in Canada in the lovely province of BC, in Vancouver, Victoria, where I lived mostly and where my career and my passion for entertainment started. But I'm also Swiss, and I'm talking to you from Switzerland in the south of Ticino, right close to the border on the other side where there's Lake Como. My paternal grandfather was a huge inspiration um, in what I do today. I all my life I have been involved in some form of entertainment. When I was 14, he passed away, and I made a conscious decision to pursue a career in acting entertainment. Um, and it was a day that changed my life, and I've been in the entertainment industry. I've worked both on and off stage and screen, um, and I've lived and traveled around the world doing acting work wherever I go. Um, I lived in London, England for 7 years. Right now, I'm just in between writing my memoir.
Writing your memoir indeed, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Andrew. So today, let's talk about the entertainment itself. The entertainment landscape has been completely reshaped by streaming. From your perspective, what has been the single biggest win and single biggest loss for creators and audiences in this new era?
Well, I guess movies don't last so long in the movie theaters because everything is online. But being online, it gives a wider reach for a bigger audience. Um, for actors, some might not get paid a lot, but I think it's important for actors to realize that it's about the love you do and the joy you do versus the money. Because a lot of people think that, oh, it's all about the money, but no, because a lot of people do it because they love to do it. Um, there's also, like we talk about streaming, um, and it just, it offers a more wider opportunity because, like 20, 30 years ago, we only had, like, in the States, I'm based in Canada, but there was only a few stations. Now there's all these different stations that offer all these different opportunities for actors to participate, do roles. Even in the past few years, since just like during when COVID was happening, the pandemic, there's even a thing called Real Shorts that came onto the market, and that has become really popular. And just to give the audience an understanding, Real Shorts are, there's these apps that you can download on your phone, and you can watch little segments of scenes, uh, and I mean, they're usually the length of a movie, but they're like one or like 2 to 3 minutes per little section, and it's been really popular, and I think it started out off in China, but anyways, it's there is going to always be changes. There's going to be always the good and the bad, but it's important to because I work from a spiritual perspective, is just to go with the flow and to uh, just embrace what's coming. Because if we get left behind, then you're left out. I mean, it's almost like when silent became into talking. Those that were silent film stars, they got left out because they did not go with the times.
Indeed, Mr. Andrew, with the rise of AI, what aspect of entertainment, from script writing to voice acting to visual effects, do you believe it's most ripe for disruption? And what should we be cautious about?
Well, yes, AI is going to be around. It's not going away, but it can also be your friend. I actually use it to a bit to just help me with some research, because the internet is very vast, but you also have to understand you cannot rely on it to do actual cover letters. You can't, because I've tried doing letters with it a few times, but I've also had to change it, and because it works off of your input as well. It's still like, there still is a lot to learn. It's To me, it's still in the early stages. It still needs to work out its kinks, but it's not going to replace um, like humans, because we'll be still needed. It just means that we'll have to do different jobs, and we have to train the AI, because if AI starts to take over and no one's there to train it, then we're all going to be screwed.
Definitely will be screwed if we will not edit of what we are doing through AI. Content is the industry's favorite word now. Do you think this term devalues the art of storytelling, or it's just simply a pragmatic way to describe a vast digital ecosystem?
Um, Content is important. I just I have to think about that for a second, because there's so much content out there, that it's content's going to be out there no matter what. I mean,
Yes,
I think it's important to, when you look at content, um, it's important to be careful, because even on, like, I'm probably going off topic with the question, but uh, for instance, when we look at like news stories on social media platforms like Facebook, I'm using that as an example because I'm on it quite a lot, more though than I really need to. We're so saturated with a lot of misinformation that um, people are not really realizing what is actual truth and what is actual not truth, or there's it's it's getting murky, and it's creating a bit of a challenge to know what is real and what is not real. um, and it's important that when it comes to content, that it's as factual and possible. It's always going to be digital. There's always going to be digital, but there's content is going to be anywhere really, and but it's just a matter of how we utilize um, our our own way of that we just we recognize what is truth and what is not truth.
Mr. Andrew, how is the metric for success changing? Is it still about box office or Nielsen ratings, or is it about social media buzz, weeks in the top 10, and memes ability?
Um, Personally, I've never really looked at the Nielsen ratings. It's like when it comes to streaming platforms, they look at how much a show is watched, because if it's not watched a lot, then it's taken off the air. Um, Social media does have an impact. It can. It depends on who's producing it, because not every every station, there's not everything is relied, although it helps to promote the show. I think it's important that we uh, all different aspects. It's like how many people watch the social media, how it's advertised, because a lot of the times when shows bomb, it's because it's not well advertised too. So um,
Definitely, Mr. Andrew. Just like Wheel of Time, Prime,
yeah,
remove it. So,
I love that show, and I was so sad when it was taken off.
yes, I
It's
don't
like
know.
the I before you ask the next question, I'm just gonna
Yes, go
like
ahead.
uh, we the thing is one of the sad things is shows are coming and going so fast because of not enough time to build the audience, or there is an audience, but the networks just don't see a feasibility. And there are some really like awesome shows. Sometimes shows are kept because there's an audience somewhere else. It might not, like for instance, if it's a show based in the States, it might be because there's a pickup, an audience somewhere else, and there's funding coming from somewhere else. I mean, Hollywood is changing. I mean, Hollywood is it's slowly moving away from being the epicenter and moving to other places. Earlier, we were talking about the impact of streaming. While we're now able to see productions from all over the world, so you can see shows that are filmed in India, you can see shows everywhere, and so it's not just Hollywood that is, Hollywood is almost like losing its edge, because also because it's really expensive in Hollywood. I mean, it's just, but anyways, it's really sad when shows are not given a chance to grow.
Yes, at least they finished 7 season. I think they just did 4 season. But well, Wheel of Time, we will miss you, but we like you. I hope Prime will change their mind and continue your series. And Mr. Andrew, what is the most underrated element of creating compelling entertainment? Is it sound design, editing, pacing, or something else that audiences feel but don't always notice?
I think sometimes it can be continuity, because, or at least in soap operas, is continuity. um, but it's like, for instance, apparently, and I don't like notice these things, but apparently in an episode of Game of Thrones, there's a
Yes.
coffee cup in one of the scenes that was left, and no one noticed it to be taken out. Because if like for the ones that are true fans of shows, they'll always look closely at the episodes, and they'll pick out and say, "Oh, this is not right." And also, it's also to do with, when I say continuity, it's not just about, the set and making sure it's right, but it's also like, one of the things I've noticed is like the time period. So, for instance, if you're filming in the 1950s, you're not going to have a cell phone in the 1950s type thing.
For
Um,
sure.
and sometimes there's like I've read how some people have made comments. Well, this kind of new uniform wasn't worn at that period, and the accuracy of and I don't know if it's to do with continuity exactly, but it's a lot like there's there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to making a movie or a TV show, um, and I just so to me I think continuity is underrated because really it needs to it's something that if there's a continuity then it'll help bring the story better maybe who knows I just I mean every aspect in the production process is important um, so
Yes, definitely. And Mr. Andrew, in a world of algorithms and data driven green lighting, how do you argue for a project that is creatively brilliant but doesn't have obvious data backed commercial appeal?
um,
Is it just like the previous Amazon what do you call this
okay
sitcom?
I just to be honest with you I'm not an expert in this type of area because this is like more like for producers but from I'm just gonna tell you what from what I gather a lot of it has to do there's a lot of there's a lot of there's a lot of facets from my understanding
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of it could be the person that's producing it if they're well known um, it it's we're in a time where you know even like 20 years ago we like it really we have independent filmmakers and we have the well-known filmmakers it really depends on how well you present it as well and if they see a demand because like you know one moment you can have like one genre that is very popular then the next you have another one like you have romance like right I mean there's um I'm thinking about like, for instance, like 20 years ago, we had the movie uh, My Big Fat Greek Wedding that came out. It was independent, and that did like really well. And so I just, I, it's it's a numbers game a little bit, and it's also to do with how well it's presented to whoever's looking to get to do the funding.
Yes, definitely. And Mr. Andrew, as an actor, speaker, writer, what are your short term and long term goals?
Well, my current my current goal is I'm writing my memoir uh, based around you know sur- called surviving wanting to die and I'm looking at self-publishing that and I'm gonna be working some more in the like film and theater world and just carry on bringing entertainment to the world and sharing my light and inspiring people because for me I like to be a light in people's lives and share what I know so
Good luck to your goals, Mr. Andrew. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
well I just think it's important we're each different individuals and it's important for each of us to follow our passions, find what it is that you like to do. Like for instance, like for being an actor, it's not easy. It's just like any other job. You got to work at it. I still work at it. I mean, it's, I used to, uh, you know, think it was like people think it's, as I said, people think it's easy. It takes a lot of work and connections. It's about meeting people and, and getting out there. And, you also have to produce and create. Um, and surround yourself with people that are supportive and positive, because it's important that um, you are in a community no matter what job you do, because it's the people around you as well as yourself. At the end of the day, it's all about yourself. um, that's what's most important.
Indeed. And Mr. Andrew, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season. Abstract poetry in second season. I'm a book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season. I'm a food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in first season. And my baby podcast, Law 101 and Mental Health 101. Love letters in third season, and movie 101 review and music 101 in fourth season, and science 101 and sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Andrew, can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Well, one book that I recently read is by D. Wallace, called Warren. And it's helped me uh, in the personal development sort of way. So that's a one book. And for actors, a book that I read that really changed how I looked at my acting career over 20 years ago was by a book by Kay Callan called "How Do You Sell Yourself as an Actor." Um, And the biggest piece of advice I got from that book is um, leading my life and let the acting follow.
Leading your life. That's amazing, Mr. Andrew. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your upcoming book, or whatever projects that you're doing right now? And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world.
Thank you for having me on this wonderful podcast.
Yes, so where people can reach you, Mr. Andrew, or you have something to plug in?
I'm on social media, just at Andrew Mondia, like Facebook, Instagram, and and right now there's really nothing to plug. I'm just here to be of service and inspire. And eventually next year maybe I'll have my book coming out. I don't know yet. I'm still writing, so I just
Yes.
like to, right now I just like to be of service to the world.
Yes, thank you for inspiring us, Mr. Andrew, and see you when you will finish your book. Please do come over on Book 101 Review and Abstract Essay and let's talk about it. So, Mr. Andrew, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
More come, people. See you